Hey y'all, Jen Hernandez, Loan with Jen. What happens when an appraisal comes in short? We'll be right back. Hey, this is Jen Hernandez. We're back. Loan with Jen. Please like, share, and subscribe. I release 2 to 3 videos per week, all news you can use and great information when you're buying a home. Okay, what happens when the appraisal comes in short? So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that the house that you're purchasing is $300,000. That's the contract price that the buyer and the seller have agreed to. An appraisal is done. Make sure to watch our other video about how and what's an appraisal, how is it done. And let's say that the appraisal comes in under by $6,000. Let's say it comes in at $294,000. So here's the choices. There's 3 choices really that I see when the appraisal comes in short. Number 1, the buyer and seller can negotiate. Okay, we've seen maybe the seller comes down the whole $6,000. Maybe you split the difference. Who knows? So you can renegotiate. Number 2 is many times there's a reconsideration of value. So the buyer's agent, we will send the appraisal with the client's permission to the buyer's agent. They'll of course share that with the seller because they're going to try to renegotiate. And sometimes there might be things missing. Room count might be off. There might be an error in the appraisal. Let's face it, errors happen. And also there might be comparables missing. There might be private sales. There might be something missing. So there is a process called a reconsideration of value. So talk to your local lender, talk to your lender that's doing your loan and see if that's a potential. There are appraisals that are done that aren't done correctly. There's lots of appraisers out there. Again, sometimes there's mistakes that happen, and sometimes with certain lenders there are appraisers that are sent that might not know a market area very well. That does happen. It's important to get a local lender that has a local list of appraisers, like Legacy Mutual if you're in Texas. We make sure that integrity of the filter of the zip code that appraisers are appraising where the market area is, where they're most familiar. So that's a side note. Now, again, what happens when the appraisal comes in short? So number 1, we went over, you can renegotiate with the seller. Number 2, there can be a reconsideration of value to see if the appraisal can come up. Maybe there was a mistake that was made. That usually takes anywhere from 2 to 4 days depending on lenders. So not all lenders are the same in that turn time. Once the comparables are given by the agents and the write-up is done and sent to the appraiser, there's a review period that happens. The third thing that can happen is that the buyer can pay the whole thing. So we've seen all of those combinations. So what that means is that if you're making a 5% down payment, you'll pay your 5% of the lower of the appraised value. So remember, you're going to buy it for $300, but it came in at $294. So you're going to make a down payment of 5% based on the $294. We're going to do the 95% loan on the $294,000. So that difference of the $6,000 between $300,000 and the $294,000 has to be paid by someone, either the seller, the buyer, or reconsideration of value. So somehow it has to reconcile itself. So the buyer, if they wanted to, could say, nope, I'm going to come up with my 5% down payment plus that additional $6,000, that's the difference between the price and what it appraised for. So lenders, just to recap, lenders are fine. Lenders are not going to deny the loan as long as we know who's going to pay the shortage, who's going to come up with the shortage, or is the seller going to bring the price down? Does the buyer have the extra $6,000 to pay? We're fine with still doing the loan. We're going to do the loan, let's say it's again 5% down loan. We're going to do the loan based on 95% of the lesser appraised value because it's below the contract price. Okay? So I hope you got a lot of details from this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you soon.
Legacy Mutual Mortgage is an equal housing opportunity lender. The opinions expressed here do not reflect those of Legacy Mutual Mortgage.